if Canada is stronger, should we be fearing for the safety of Hong Kong Canadians and the like? And I think that's a very good question. And the Conservative Party here has always, for the last number of months that this has been escalating, has said that we need to be stronger, that we need to stand up very firmly with our allies to stand up to the bully that is China. We have been disappointed with the Liberal government's response to date and continue to push for that. But for those in Canada maybe watching or may hear Conservatives talking a lot about Hong Kong or China who don't have any attachment to Hong Kong, I'd love if each of you could just respond to sort of the two following questions, just to give sort of people who don't know what's going on a bit of a perspective. So why should Canadians who don't have these connections care about what's happening to Hong Kong? I know that's a very obvious question, but if you could just give me your frank response, that'd be great. And on the second part, why should Canada sort of, to Ms. Normanton's question, kind of stick its neck out a little bit to help Hong Kong? And I think you answered this quite well last time, but if you can just sort of further reiterate your thoughts, I would really appreciate the perspective from each of you. So perhaps we could start with Ms. Wong.
For Canadians at home, I know all of us hold democracy and human rights as core values as being Canadians. So I think it's not a huge reach to ask Canadians to support Hong Kongers who are facing immense political and state violence. I think we need to continue a strong stance. China is an international bully. They aren't retaliating against Canada for what Canada is doing, but they are actively going after every liberal democratic country on this planet to challenge us, to challenge our standard and whether or not we would stand up for human rights. We need to be prepared to accept some of the costs that we will incur from standing up to China, but Canada is not alone on this international stage. We have allies across the Five Eyes in democratic allies that we have, and we can stand together and accept some of these consequences. We see the UK has already braved it. Australia and New Zealand are coming up with new measures. So we are not alone, and I think we can continue to take a strong stance.
Okay, Hong Kong is an international city, and in these days we are in a global age. Every countries, they are affecting each other. And we need to support Hong Kong because Hong Kongers, they hold up to the democratic values as we do. So if we let the totalitarian government to influence the world more, the democratic countries will be weaker. So we need to help Hong Kongers to come. Secondly, we have 300,000 Canadians living in Hong Kong. Mm-hmm. We should care, don't we?
I think I would like to address that Hong Kong is unique. It's the modern day Berlin. It's the front where liberal democratic values versus the totalitarian regime, the China system, the China way. There's a class of civilization between the totalitarian wave and the liberal democracy that Canada holds dear. And this is the battleground. And we are Berliners, as JFK was saying. And then I'm saying we are Hong Konger. Not that we have connection to Hong Kong, but we cherish the same values. We cannot let Hong Kong fall. We cannot let them down. As Canadian, I'm speaking as a Canadian. I think we should do so. And another thing is, is it worth it? Well, who are these people? But hey, this is something bigger at play. If Hong Kong falls, then a dominant effect, then we may not have the Canada. We're a small country, and then if the bully keep bullying others, then we may not have the same Canada we have right now. This is a battlefront. We are Berliner. Thank you.
I appreciate your responses very much, and I took them to heart, and I 100% could not agree more that there's 300,000 Canadians there. We need to care about this, and I really appreciate your earlier comments in the former questions about really standing firm up to a bully, or else that bully will keep advancing. And I think the point is very well made to say that if Hong Kong falls, as many of you remarked, that there will be someone next, and that this totalitarian regime will continue to encroach on democratic freedoms around the country. So thank you for your responses. I